speak on it with who you with. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kurt, though. I'm M. I'm M. Who you with, Kurt? I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kurt, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kurt, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kurt, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kurt, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kurt, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kurt, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kurt, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kurt, though. I'm M. Welcome, I'm M. Welcome, I'm M. Welcome to speak on it. Welcome to speak on it. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it. Welcome to speak on it. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it. Welcome to speak on it. I'm M. Welcome to speak. 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 I'm M. I'm M. Who you with, Kurt, dog? Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kurt, dog. I'm M. Who you with, Kurt, dog? Hopefully y'all had a great day today. I know I did. Every day is a great day for me. I want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Live as always in the house. And also Anchor.fm. You can always subscribe to the channel on Anchor.fm. And you can also take the show on the road with you while you're working. You can have your earphone in and listen to the show live. Well, the recording of it on the Anchor.fm. Man, I knew it was going to be some mess today. So I want to know how y'all feel about this. I know that the closing argument took place today in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, and the jury will get the case tomorrow. How do you feel they will rule on that? We want to talk about that a little bit, and then also, old Kevin Gough, he tried it. He definitely tried it. Asked the judge for a mistrial, and that didn't work. Then he turned around and asked if Reverend Jackson could be removed out the courtroom. I like the judge's response, and the judge told him, well, I'm not going to grant you a mistrial. And because of the way that you talk in the courtroom, is the reason why you getting this type of response. I said it last night. He probably trying to set up for a mistrial, and then also he have to realize what he said when he put out that bird call, saying that we don't need any more black pastors showing up here. Well, you just woke everybody up because you have your horns sticking out, and the black pastor showed up. I know it was Reverend Jackson that was in the courtroom today. Reverend Al was there last week, and several other pastors. I don't know if they was in the courtroom or if they was outside the courtroom, but because of what he said, like the judge said, that's the reaction you get. All to it. Welcome to the show, Radio Chaos, my brother from Canada. Thank you for always tuning in, supporting the show. Glad to see you back in the house once again. I know you probably caught the replay last night. I came on a little bit early last night. My schedule had changed again, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm tired tonight. So, but I'm here. I'm here. So you can actually call in. Let us know how you feel about this Kyle Rittenhouse trial. It came out today that the judge did drop the weapon charge for the simple fact it's a misdemeanor, and they said, well, we know he would be found guilty on that.
But this murder trial, I think the prosecutor did a good thing when he demonstrated how Kyle Rittenhouse did, and how he showed that he actually put the fire extinguisher down, then held this rifle up and pointed toward. Uh, I believe he pointed toward the jury, but don't quote me on that. But he pointed it and said, "This is how Kyle Rittenhouse did." And like he said, that was a problem that Kyle Rittenhouse caused. He was the aggressive in this. If he wasn't aggressive, it had never been any shots there. So that's going to be interesting. Radio said, "I'm not criticizing the judge's education or knowledge of the law, but the way he has conducted himself on the bench has been unprofessional." I would agree with you on that for the simple fact the comment he made last week um, about um, the Chinese food, the little comment that he made, which was uh, out of order. It's out of order, and it just kind of shows that um, with this particular judge, his mind is made up. He said at the beginning he will get the last say so in his trial. Now, I don't know who this judge support or don't support, but I don't think it's gonna be kind of like the way it should be, because this judge point out that I have the last say so in this. So yeah, I was wondering if they can remove the judge, because as soon as it came out that he dropped one of the weapon charges, my phone started going off, and I'm like, okay, um, I'm like, this is crazy. I didn't get a chance to read up on it, but he said the defense would at least, the prosecutor would at least get one charge against him. That's the reason why he did it. And I think it kind of set the tone to what to expect once the um, jury received the case tomorrow, and it could be a fast decision. It could be a long decision. Who knows? Um, but it's going to be interesting in both of these trials, actually, and it's really it's two high profile cases. Um, I've heard that. I've seen the video um, where his phone rung in court, which it never should have been on. I'm just saying, because that's the first thing they tell you when you come into court. Please turn your phones off. Seemed like he should have been held at contempt of court. Um, so I'm not surprised at all. Who knows? Hell, it probably was Trump calling his ass. Um, you gotta get him off. Um, so it's no telling that judge. I think his mind was made up even in the pre-trial hearing. Um, I was able to catch a couple of them um, when they was arguing about Kyle Rittenhouse not giving the court his new address. He had moved and haven't said anything to the court about it. So when they was arguing about it, and then one of the fathers who lost his son was able to speak, and that judge just seemed like he had his mind made have his mind made up the whole time. So it's going to be very interesting once this trial come out. Once the jury come back with a verdict, either guilty or not guilty, or hung jury. So it's going to be very interesting. Um, I feel like this judge shouldn't even been allowed on there. Oh Lord, he got his days mixed up. What's going on, Marcella Smith? Saying what's up, guys and gals. Um, it's not Thursday night, but welcome to the show. Thank you for always tuning in, supporting the show. Um, I do find him more professional. I feel like what he should have done when he made the statement about race played a part in picking the jury, he should have made him go back and pick. Uh, I should have made him keep going back and have a diverse jury. You have a jury full of white folks and one black person, and that's kind of crazy in a small town in Georgia. But all the black people that are registered to vote that came to try to get on this trial, but they all was dismissed except this one. That's going to be interesting too. So, um, but I'm glad he's taking a stand on the fact that, um, as Kevin was trying to say, coming into court, it's not like at a Laker game where you pick and choose Kurt's courtside seat. And the judge said, "Look, it's an open court. I'm gonna rule just like I did before. I'm gonna take my stand. Anybody is welcome to come." And then he told him in a flat way, he said, because of your comments in this court, this is the response that you're getting. And my thing about that, I feel like this. If you are a good attorney, you should be able to represent your client regardless of who's in the court. And I think it's more of a intimidation to him. And then on top of that, um, by then intimidation to him, the jury should only be focusing on the evidence, not about who's in the courtroom, who's not in the courtroom. They should be focused about the evidence and make a decision by that. Because even the GBI came out and said Ahmaud Arbery was shot at close range, according to the hole in his shirt. So that tells you a lot right there. I do feel like it will be a guilty verdict in the Ahmaud Arbery case. Kyle Rittenhouse, I don't know. I don't know. Now, here's another thing in the Ahmaud Arbery case. If it's a guilty verdict, it may not be as long as it should be. Um, Hopefully, they do what's right, give them life or the death penalty. I don't know if Georgia have the death penalty or not, but I feel that they should at least get life in prison. Um, I wouldn't be surprised to just kind of try to please the community. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't try to get him 5 years, which is a flap on the wrist. So, um, in this Kyle Rittenhouse case, unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be a not guilty verdict because this judge have repeated several times he made the last choice. He had the last say so in this trial. So the jury may recommend something, but I don't know if legally he can come back and say, no, we're not going to give him that. So that will be interesting. But I think once the verdict come back, it won't be over. It won't be over. It'll probably be an appeal file. Radio said, I'm sure if Cal walks this won't be. Oh, I didn't even read your comments. See, I try not to read your comments until after. Said, I'm sure if Kyle's walk, this won't be over. There might be a bunch of civil suits coming his way. It will be civil suits. Then on top of that, um, this judge. I don't know exactly how old this judge is, but I think it's safe to say he's pretty close to retirement age. So he probably like, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna go out with a bang. So um, so it's hard to say. Hopefully they find them all guilty in both trials, and I call it like it should be. But unfortunately, this judge in Kenosha is kind of shady. It's real. Ain't no counter to it. It is shady. There's some shady shit going on. Um, that's how it is with that. I didn't. Hold on. Let me pull that up. I didn't even notice that. Uh, yeah, with the I don't know if that's a cabinet behind him or something behind him, and with him sitting in that wooden chair, it do look like he's sitting on the throne. So it definitely do. I I didn't pay attention to the chair because it's hard for me to even watch that man because he just looks shady. Um, oh, that's the backrest. Oh Lord. Um, hey, I think he's the longest running judge in that county, so I guess they have to cater to him. Oh wait, I didn't realize I finished that water. But if you're just not tuning in, you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. Tonight we're talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial as the jury get ready to get the case in the morning, and also we're talking about the Ahmaud Arbery case where uh, the defense attorney have asked for a mistrial. He asked for a mistrial because the mother started crying in court. What do you expect the mother to do? Here it is, she having to relive the death of her child that was murdered by three racist bastards. What what do you expect her to do? And to see the pictures of her child after he was murdered, you think she just gonna sit there and show no emotion? So he asked for a mistrial because of that. Mm. I hate to see if it was if they was changing position. If she was the defense attorney and that was his child, and he started crying or his wife started crying, and then the defense attorney turned around and said, "Hey, we need a mistrial because she's crying." I don't know. Um, I cannot. A person with a heart should not even go that route because that tells me you're heartless. And to ask for a mistrial because the mother is having to relive the death of her son, seeing the graphic pictures of her son after he was murdered by three racist folks. I don't understand it. Bad enough you made the comment you didn't want any more black pastors to come there. You got what you asked for. They there. Um, Radio said maybe like Trump, he needs to hear he's not a he's not a king. Uh, yeah, but Trump still think he's coming back. And I know you've been absent for a while, Radio. I mentioned this about a couple of weeks ago. Um, I guess about a mile or two from my house, I was driving around and I seen some flags. And I said, boy, they really think it's gonna happen again. Nope, nope. Yeah, they already talking about 2024. Had them flying high. And I said, okay. But it's so important that we get registered to vote and vote for the simple fact that um, we don't need no one like Trump back in office. Look at the predicament that we're in. And some people are going to argue and say he had nothing to do with the pandemic. It could have been avoided. We probably could have been out of it by now. But he has such a hard on for President Obama. He came in and changed everything he put in place, including uh, terminating the people that was in place to prevent us from getting into a pandemic. And because of his action, we're still dealing with it. Still dealing with it because of his actions. So that's why it's so important that we get out and vote. We don't need leaders like that. Um, exactly. In that Trump age, I'm gonna just leave it at that. Because kind of like what's her name, Mary Trump. She said herself that he's not playing with a full deck. He's gonna get older. That mind gonna keep on going. And I'm surprised people are still donating to him. Well, I'm not surprised, but that I don't understand that. You still donating to a clown. Uh, I guess he have a GoFundMe to try to pay off that uh what is it, that uh $1 billion debt he got coming up soon. Think it's coming up due next year. He got to pay off. So it's he's doing everything he can to try to get people to pay it off. Still doing these rallies. Uh, so, but that's you don't expect nothing different from Trump. That's the way he is. Um, if you just not tuning in, if you are on my personal Facebook page, please go over to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. If you want to chat live with us, it would only allow me to see the chat during the show. If you don't Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog page, it won't show it on my personal page. So definitely go over to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog, or switch over to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Same name, Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog, and your chat will come up, and just like radio chats, I display them on the screen. You can see it, but um, if you're on my personal page, uh, I'm not monitoring my personal page, so I won't be able to see your comments. And if you do go over to the other page, everybody can see your comments. And you can also call in. Couple of rules on calling in. Please do not block your number. I won't answer. I get enough spam calls already. And also, be respectful. Be respectful. And come with truth. Come with truth, because that's all we deal with on this show is truth. We don't deal with conspiracy theory. We deal with truth. And the question I would ask anybody if you call in tonight, um, how do you feel either one of these trials will go? We know that the jury will get the case in the morning, the Kyle Rittenhouse case, and then the defense attorney is asking, have asked for a mistrial because the mother started crying in court, and then also because Reverend Jesse Jackson was there, and he also asked if he could be removed out of the courtroom, and the judge told him no. Radio said if Cal is set free, he can hit the speaker circuit on the subject how to make bad judgment and stupidity just superpower. Yeah, I feel like this. If he's set free, um, from what we've seen in the past, I would not be surprised if it's not the start of his political career. Unfortunately, because it's a lot of crooks in the politics game that is serving today. And several of them have charges against them since they've been in office, and they still serving. So you, it's a lot of them. People say all the time they go in as a politician, they come out as millionaires. It's a reason why, allegedly a reason why. Because I don't want them uh, calling me and coming after me, talking about, oh, you saying we're stealing? I didn't say that. It's allegedly a reason why. Now, unfortunately, like Greg Abbott, I feel like our politician here in Texas is, I feel like they had a hand in the cookie jar. However you want to take it, allegedly have your hands in a cookie jar for the simple fact we have three states that is surround us, and they all have casinos, but we cannot get them in Texas. You prefer people to go to other states instead of keeping the money in house. That sounds kind of fishy, um, but that's I guess that's politics. I know I wouldn't be a good politician because I would be honest with people, and sometimes honesty hurts you more than anything. Unfortunately, um, as we can see, as some of the trolls will come in from time to time and they'll swear up and down what they're saying is true. And then when I ask where they get the information, oh, it was on a video on YouTube, a conspiracy video. Yeah. hmm and you believe that. And I had the Golden State Bridge in my backyard, and I'm charging $100 a person to come see it. So, yeah. Um, but definitely let us know how you feel about these trials. I I don't expect the jury to come back so soon on Kyle Rittenhouse. It could, but then again, it could go a couple of days. Who knows? I would say probably by Thursday we should get a verdict. Um, I haven't. I know they was in Dallas not too long ago. They had a rally or something in Dallas about the vaccine or something, had traffic all screwed up. I people gonna do what they want to do. Um, a lot of them is undercover. I kind of talked about it last night um, on the show with all aboard because when I wear my shirt um, uh, because of the area we moved to, they not used to my type being here. So since they're not used to my type, they already stare at me. But then when I wear one of my shirts, it's like, who is this dude with his picture on his shirt? Or who is this speak on it? And I know they be sitting up Googling, um, trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm sure it's something out there. Hold on. You are listening to Speak on It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With Kurt Dog. We're talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial as the jury get prepared to accept the case tomorrow, and also Ahmaud Arbery case. Um, the defense attorney asked for a mistrial because his mother started crying in the courtroom, and then asked that Reverend Jesse Jackson be removed out of the courtroom. And the judge explained to him that, hey, because of the things you said in this courtroom, this is the response you're getting. You can call us live at 972 591 3665, 972 591 3665. But if you call in, please do not block your number and be respectful. Um, Everybody have an opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Um, we don't have to agree with each other, but we can always have a dialogue about it. So definitely, you want to call in, definitely do. But whatever you do, just be respectful. My hang up game is strong. So, but I guess in a sense, radio, to answer your question, if I ever see some of these so-called malicious group in Texas, I'm gonna say I see some, but it's not like a rally or anything like that. Because I see people driving around with the Trump flag, and then they might have a flag to say F Biden or something like that. Um, then they'll have the America flag that have other things on it, which is very disrespectful to the flag because the flag should never be moderated in any type of way. But they do it all the time and they feel like that's patriots. Michael, welcome to the show. It's been a while since I've seen you in here. Uh, that's your opinion. That's truly your opinion. It's not for me to decide. It's not for you to decide. It's going to be up to the jury to decide. And um, but that's your opinion. Like I said, I feel like he probably won't. Um, I feel like they probably going to find him not guilty, not because it's self defense, but because the judge's statement. He made it clear he had the last say so in that court, and I feel like this judge had his mind made up long time ago. As soon as it happened, he probably started soliciting to try to get this case because his mind was already made up. Radio said one of the malicious members in Kenosha was Doc out in full combat fatigue from the Vietnam War era. The ridiculous. I would not be surprised. Nothing surprised me. Nothing at all. Matter of fact, it's everywhere because my wife and I, we took a couple of days off last week and went to Vegas and uh, also it was somebody out there riding around with the Trump flag, the F Biden flag, and all of this. So I'm like, okay. Good night to you, Mike. Don't be no stranger, man. It's been a while since you've been in, but you're always welcome. We may not agree with everything, but you're always welcome to come in. And because everybody have an opinion on this show, it doesn't make a difference if we agree or not. We can speak our voice and let our voice be heard. But um, but thank you for supporting the show whenever you get the opportunity of coming in. I understand you work during this time, and that's cool. So definitely continue to support the show. Catch the reruns. Tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe. Um, and definitely do that. But I don't think it's going to be self-defense, but I think it's going to be one of those things, kind of like what we see in the Capitol Hill um, attack, on Capitol Hill, the January 6th attack, which I seen a story last week, and while I was on vacation, um, and I just thought about it. If you're just not tuning in, one thing about the show, it is live. Um, um, it is live, so sometimes things may come up. We may have to stop and um, Google some things. I'm gonna see if I can find a story um, to see. Because I never did verified. Antonio, welcome to the show. First time seeing you on the show. Please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. You're on YouTube, um, so thank you for tuning in. Please take the time and do all the proper things and let other people know that we are live. I'm trying to find this story that came across last week. Um, so uh, trying to see da, 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 because it was kind of strange when I seen it, and I never did verify it. So I'm trying to make sure before I put it out there. Um, uh, so that's one of the things. I appreciate it, Antonio. Cal is in the house. Thank you for always supporting T Cal and supporting the show. It's the night in the conversation. It's pretty good. We haven't had none 2 minute troll. Well, we haven't had really no trolls tonight, just one. But he said good night and he's gone. So, um, but it's actually going pretty good. I just want to tonight we're talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse. The jury get the case in the morning, and then also uh, the outbursts in court. Um, the defense attorney in the Ahmaud Arbery case, um, his mother started crying in court, and he asked for a mistrial. And then, with him asking for a mistrial, the judge said, "No, we ain't doing that." And he asked to have Reverend Jesse Jackson removed from the courtroom. And the judge said, "We ain't doing that either. Um, uh, because of what you've said in the courtroom, this is the reaction that you're actually getting." So That's what we're talking about tonight. But I've seen a story um, last week, and I may have to bring it up tomorrow because I want to verify it before I put it out there because we have to put out proper information, and I can't find it right now. Um, so I will do my research tomorrow and we'll talk about it. I'll bring it up tomorrow um, because I was I would I'm not shocked about it, but for it to happen, it was kind of like really. Exactly. The judge controlled the court, not the attorneys. Yep. He put out that bird call last week saying that we don't need no more black pastors. Hold on, let me see if I can say it like him. We don't need no more black pastor coming up in here. That's what he said last week. And in the hood, when you say we don't need something and we really do need it, that's a bird call. So he got the response, but he didn't get what he wanted. And because of that, the judge explained to him because of the things that you said in this courtroom is the response that you're getting today. So Reverend Jesse Jackson was in there today, and I'm sure it'll be some more coming in there tomorrow. So he did call him a civil right icon. Well, this is a civil right matter. It's a murder trial, but it's also based upon racism. So a civil right fighter should be there to make sure it's no foolishness going on. How they done in Brunswick, Georgia, with having an all-white jury except one person who is black in a county that had plenty of black registered voters. So that's um, that's a civil right matter, and I don't know why the judge even allowed the trial to even start. Not unless it was diverse. It should have been a diverse jury, but they feel like if they got majority and put um, one black person in there, everything could be okay. It'll blow over. Even the judge had to say this jury selection. It looked like it's more of a race played a big part in it. So um, so it's definitely one of those situations. Radio said attorney have to be careful if you are not likable by the jurors. That can be determined to the client. Yeah, it definitely can. It can hurt, but at the same time, that kind of shows a lot with this particular attorney. Only thing he's trying to do is win a case, and I would not be surprised after this case if they find him not guilty. It probably start up his political campaign too. Unfortunately, that's what some people do. Once they get a high profile case or something, oh, I could run for lieutenant governor of the state. I could run for the governor of the state, whatever it may be. So I think it's a political move. And then when you have certain people that think like him, they will vote him in. By making that comment, we don't need no more. Hold on, let me check. We don't need no more black pastor coming up in here. That would change. They would vote him in just because he said that. Yeah, excuse me. Throat is dry. I, this weather we've been having. Radio, I don't know how the weather is up there, but in the morning it's about 45, 48 degrees in the morning. Today it got up to almost 80. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, oh, excuse me. Um, so it's a lot wrong with uh with him. Uh, it's a lot going on in both of these trials. Now, don't forget, here in Texas, I believe it's coming up this month. Um, the trial of the police officer that actually killed the young lady, Tatiana Jefferson. That shot and killed her while he was doing a welfare call. So his trial is coming up soon. Um, then before I came on the air, two Oklahoma policemen have been charged with murder for tasing a black man more than 50 times. Yeah, tased him more than 50 times. Now, Oklahoma um, have a history um, with the way they handle certain people. Because what was it, several years back, the female police officer shot the guy in the back, had his hands up in the air, walking away from her. She shot her in the back, killed him. She got a promotion. She training officers now. You kill somebody, shoot them in the back, and then you get a promotion and start training other police officers. Um, then also, what was it, last year or the year before? I think it was last year. Um, the uh, Caucasian guy that actually shot two, I don't know if they was trooper or just police officer, but on the car cam, they showed him standing over one of the officers, shot him in the head and killed him. And when he was caught, yeah, they roughed him up a little bit, but he was able to walk in jail. I'm just saying, it's a different. Um, I'm trying to see what city that is. Uh, oh, I pulled this up and um, hold on, because something else came up too. I haven't heard about. Um, so I try not to read your comments. Oh, excuse me. Um, said if you like heavy rain, this is the place to be. Oh, I could deal with some rain, but if it start flooding and stuff, nah, can't deal with that. Uh, the radio said I watched a body cam video of a naked woman who stole a cop police car, a bit of the lighter side of policing. Yeah. Oh, and this incident actually happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Two Oklahoma police officers charged with shooting two Tulsa, Oklahoma police officer have been charged with helping conceal evidence of a shooting and the involvement of a brother of a former officer. Okay, so this is a different case, but this just came out earlier this month. Two Tulsa police officers have been charged with helping conceal evidence of a shooting involved the brother of a boyfriend of a former officer who pled guilty earlier this year to illegally purchasing a gun for her boyfriend. Lieutenant Marcus Harper and Officer Carson the third were charged Tuesday as accessory after the fact, said Roger County District Attorney Matt Baller, uh, who was appointed to the case when the Tulsa County District Attorney recused himself from the case. Harper declined comment to KTUL TV court document. Do not list an attorney who could speak on Carson's behalf. So that happened in Tulsa. I was trying to find something else, and that story came up, and that just happened um, earlier this month, where that story came out. Okay, here it is, and I'm gonna have to do more on this other case, but it's a couple of cases came out, um, and I guess I didn't see this one either. I don't know what was going on, but the one I was just talking about, the two officers convicted of murder. Former Oklahoma officers convicted of murder after using taser more than 50 times on an unarmed man. Yeah, they look like they was at Capitol Hill on January 6th. Brandon Dingman and Joshua Taylor each faced 10 years in prison for the murder of a 28-year-old Jerry Lakely in July 2019. Um, they was convicted of murder for using their taser more than 50 times on an unarmed man who died in 2019, court records show. Brandon Dingman, 35, and Joshua Taylor, 27, was convicted of second-degree murder Friday in the death of Jerry Lakely, 28, with the court ruling that the officer repeated use of their taser on the man in July of 2019 was dangerous and unnecessary. Dingman and Taylor use of their taser played a factor in Lakely death, according to court records, and greatly exceed what would have been necessary or warranted by the attendant circumstance. So they face up to 10 years. They will be sentenced on December the 2nd. I feel like, hey, murder. They killed the person. Don't give them 10 years. Give them, in 10 years, that person not coming back. Get him the same thing that person got. They chose to get that person the death penalty. Get him 10 years. Get him the same charge. Give him murder, um, life in prison, or the death penalty. Um, uh, yeah, I'm gonna have to read this other story, but I guess it came out. Well, this story happened last year, but it was just came out um, earlier this year that 5 officers was charged with that. All out of Oklahoma, boys, Oklahoma City, and a lot of stuff going on in Oklahoma. Um, but if you're just now tuning in, you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With Kurt Dog. You can live chat with us. We're talking about different things. We've been mainly talking about the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, where the defense attorney is have asked the judge for a mistrial, and also because Ahmaud's mother started crying in court. Yeah, she started crying. You asked for a mistrial. Help me to understand that. I won't. I won't. And then we talked about Kyle Rittenhouse. The jury will get the case in the morning. Uh, they will start deliberating on it tomorrow morning, and so supposedly it's up to the jury to decide what punishment he get, if any. But this judge had repeatedly said in the courtroom he have the last say so of what goes on in his courtroom. So we'll see how that plays out. But hopefully they will do the right thing and find him guilty. I think the closing argument for the defense, for the prosecutor, was great. Holding up the rifle, showing what Kyle Rittenhouse did, and then turned around and uh, I'm gonna say he brought it home. But then again, this judge is shady because he said at the beginning they could not um, identify the victims as victims. Had to say riders, and I'm like, really? Anybody that was murdered becomes a victim. Anybody who is attacked is a victim. Unjust murder or attack, they are the victim. So that's why I say I personally feel like he probably won't be found guilty. Probably gonna, he might just get a flap on the wrist, probation, something like that. Or just if he get any time, it'll be a house arrest. Something that's not gonna affect him. And because he was underage, it's a possibility his record may be sponged. I don't know how that'll work because everybody knows about this trial. So that's something to consider in that. Radio said, I don't think this kid has learned the damn thing from all of this. I don't think he have either. And the mama, well, I take that back, Radio. He have learned to do something. And who knows? Since Silver Spoon Star uh, helped pay his bail, you might see him in a remake of Silver Spoon or something. Um, he put some poor acting on the trial, but I think he might be able to, with the proper training, he can get a little bit more acting and show how to make the tears come out when you fake crying. So that's my opinion. I just don't think it's. I pray and hope they find them all guilty. You do the crime, you do the time. I don't care who you are. You do it. Hey, you gotta go and um, do that time. You weren't concerned, and they keep saying that the defense attorney keeps saying, "Oh, I feel that they would have tucked the gun and shot him." Well, first of all, this man just shot and killed someone. So you're saying you basically wanted everybody around there to do nothing, to turn their back on the fact that this man just shot and killed this child. Let me rephrase that. This child just shot and killed someone, and you didn't want them to react in any type of way. Yeah, that don't sit well. So so that's interesting. So we will see. I will be trying to keep an eye on well, I have tomorrow's too. Yeah. So if something major happened, Miss Risky, and shit, you see what just happened? So shout out to Risky who will be here on Thursday. Excuse me. Um, but Other than that, I think I'm drinking a lot of water because I'm trying to stay. But other than that, I appreciate it. Uh, oh, yeah. um, I feel you. It's gonna be hard, but he will find one somewhere. Um, it, it's ways he could change his look, change his name, and people probably won't even recognize him. But I don't think it'll work though. I don't think it will. Um, somebody is willing to hire him right off the murder trial. Um, one of these supporters will hire him. Hell, who knows? He might work on Trump campaign. Um, hold on. You are listening to Speak on it with Who You With Kurt, though. I'm Who You With Kurt, though. You can live chat with us. We are still talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, and we talked about a couple other cases. Um, Radio said maybe he'll grow a handlebar mustache. Yeah, who knows? But if he go to jail, uh, uh, he's gonna become a. I was finna say something else. If he go to jail, let's just say they doing like they did in House Party, picking straws. So, and I don't think he know how to rap or sing. So it's gonna be hard to keep him off of him. But we shall see. Um, and I'm wondering what the victim impact um, statement would be from the family, because I seen in a pretrial and I heard what the father said, and he said up front, this man should get the death penalty. He should get it. Um, and so we'll have to see. Oh, excuse me. See how all that work out. Radio said he's for sure not built for jail. They say a lot of people not built for jail until they get in there. They start working out, come out and be like, "Who are you again?" But yeah, it kind of. I just thought about who he looked like. Have you ever seen the movie Major Payne? When they was trying to set up Major Payne, and they put the little fat kid in the dress and had him lay in the bed and take they was gonna take pictures and try to get him fired from there. When you said he's not built for jail, that's the vision I got, was him dressing up in a dress and they tossing him around. So that was, ugh. Yeah. I pray and hope I never go to jail because, nah, thank God I ain't never been. And I'm not trying to go either. So, but we're gonna see what happened in this case altogether, for the simple fact that it's it's a toss up. It's a toss up. Uh, that's true, because the ones that grab a gun before trying to build their self esteem normally end up in a situation like this, killing somebody, or all the school shootings. Um, that's that's crazy too. Matter of fact, speaking of bully, um, I seen this old disturbing video. Um, where this young lady who have struggled with mental health had tried to commit suicide, allegedly tried to commit suicide in the past, and her classmates took it up on herself to um, took it up on themselves to bully her more, called her the N word, said all type of things. Told her she should try harder next time when she try to kill herself. Eh, Parents, teach your kids better. Teach them better. Teach them what's right, what's wrong. Uh, um, I just seen a story come out, and I'm trying to verify it real quick. I just got an alert, so I'm trying to see. Um, um, Hold on. Oh, my. I thought Green Bay got rid of Aaron Rodgers, but it was just a false alarm. Um, so, with them trying to uh, encouraging this young lady to kill herself, and the school is aware of it. It's a viral video. If you follow me on Instagram, you could go to my page. I believe it's on there. It may be on Facebook too, because I did um, post it, or on Twitter, either one of them. But this is a very disturbing video that should never happen. And that's why we need to make sure not only that our kids are not being bullied, but also make sure they're not bullying no one. Um, because and it been a case in the past several years back. I think a young lady encouraged her boyfriend to commit suicide, and he did, and she ended up getting charged. And people don't realize how important things like this is. And you need to talk with your kids and make sure they do the right thing. Stop allowing your kids to raise themselves, um, and stop leading them the wrong way. Kind of like last night, we talked about on Halloween, White Bro, Texas, um, White Bros High School down there in Corpus Christi have three individuals that took it up on, well, they dressed up as Klansmen on Halloween and terrorized other kids with tasing one of them with a stun gun. And it was reported they at least chased six other kids. But they dressed in a full Klan suit, hood and all. And the school is aware of it, but this tells you what the school think about. They were still able to play in the football game on Friday night. So we need to teach our kids better. Radio said everyone say bullying is wrong, but not a lot of people call it out when they see it in real life. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't want to get involved because we're in a society. If you say the wrong thing, it could cost you your life. Um, and unfortunately, parents have to understand we need to go back to the old school. Don't just say it take a village to raise a child. We also need to show that it take a village, and the fact that someone discipline your child or correct your child when they're wrong. Don't get upset at the person for trying to change the path of your child life, because it can easily, they can see them doing something wrong, and that child can say, they can continue doing it, don't say anything. Then all of a sudden, your child's sitting up in court. Somebody should have been raising Kyle Rittenhouse between him and his mama sitting up in the courtroom with the dry tears, and the mama look up talking to somebody while she crying, stopping mid video and start talking to somebody, smiling and stuff. I guess she was asking how does it look? Do it look good? And she realized the camera was still on her. Then she decided to go back to her crying again. I'm just saying, we need to raise our kids better. Someone say your child did something, don't get on the defense. Listen to them. Raise your kids better. If we raise them better, we will be in a much better position in this world. Um, and there's no other way of putting it. Stop allowing video games and TV to raise your kids. Spend some quality time with your kids. And you need to get off TikTok or whatever and spend that time with your kids. It's people on these apps all day, every day. But then when their kids come home, they still on it. You can hear them yelling at their kid. Y'all stop doing that. Get your ass off of these apps and go raise your kids. Stop letting the street raise them. And that's for all people. Um, Radio said Cal didn't even bother to get a driving license. He was driving to work in the family car. His mother must have known this. She would deny everything. She would deny everything. Her child could do no wrong. Her child could do no wrong. I remember in this trial when they said, when the prosecutor asked them, said, "Well, did you know you was your picture was all over everything after you shot the victim?" He said, "No, I didn't know. I didn't know." They said, "Well, how did you find out?" Well, his friend encouraged him to turn himself in. And I'm like, you shot and killed someone. First of all, let's go back. I know, and y'all know, if Kyle Rittenhouse looked like me, when the police came up, gave him water and praising him for being there, if he looked like me, none of this shit would have happened. For the simple fact, he would have been arrested. One, for being out past curfew. Two, for having that AR-15 and being underage. And they argued that uh, because it was an AR-15, it's not a short rifle, it's a long rifle. So it's legal for him to have it. Or it's just a misdemeanor for him to have it. So that's why they dismissed that weapon charge. So when it's all said and done, he's going to be held accountable twice. If the court don't hold him accountable, but we know our judge, the true judge, will. If he don't ask for forgiveness, he will be held accountable. Anything we do on this world, we will be held accountable. That's why it's so important to me to put out correct information, because if I say something or do something on this platform, um, that I'm gonna have to be held accountable. If I'm putting out false lies and somebody take what I'm saying very serious because it's fake, well, guess what? That's my responsibility. So, yeah. Radio said dropped out of school no driving license, too young for the rifle, and lied about being an EMT, but he's enforcing the law during the ride. See, all that plays a factor, and I wish they would have did him like R. Kelly and talked about his background from the video when he came up and sucker punched a young lady because she got into it with another young lady. Came up and hit the woman from behind. His character. That tells you right there. Oh Lord, I'm exhausted. I didn't realize what time it is, but um, tomorrow night, if the good Lord say the same, I will be back. Um, I'm exhausted, and 5:30 come pretty early. Uh, that was his younger sister who started the fight. It don't make a difference who it was. He never should have got into it. Should have allowed those young ladies to deal with it. If he wasn't trying to be a peacemaker, these young ladies wasn't fighting. They was arguing, but they wasn't fighting. And it probably was probably over some old pissy tail ass boy. For some reason why they was arguing. And the guy that videotaped the whole thing, I heard him say, "Man, if he hit this chick, I'm gonna have to do something." And then the video went off after he hit him. So I guess the guy, when he got in that ass, I don't know. He should have got with him for hitting that female. Um, so, um, but uh, join us tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time. Uh, 5 o'clock come early in the morning. Uh, 5 o'clock come early in the morning. So, and I have a long day tomorrow. So, um, I will be back tomorrow if the good Lord say the same. And I'm gonna do some research on this, on a couple of stories I talked about earlier, dealing with these police officers out of Oklahoma, and so we're kind of go into detail about that tomorrow. And other than that, I love each and every one of you. Until tomorrow, peace.